you will be awarded justice in front of all your enemies. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, you will be awarded justice in front of all your enemies. I need y'all to understand something. Those who have wronged you, those who have talked about you, those who have made all type of statements about you in front of family, friends, or people who was on your job, those who dogged you out will see you get justice in front of them. He will make you a ruler of many. He will turn them into your footstools. He will. You just got to be patient and understand that our timing is not like God's timing. All right? Family, I know you're looking for justice. I know you're looking for vindication. I know you're looking for freedom. I understand it. But it's all on the way. Somebody drop in the comments and say joy comes in the morning. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say joy comes in the morning. All right. And so a part of that joy, y'all, is receiving that justice. They will have no choice but to see you receive it. Now, family, we're going to go ahead and get directly into this video. Second video of today, y'all. We still right here in front of the legendary couch, y'all, the great couch. And we're about to get directly into it, y'all. Y'all drop in the comments, too, and let me know how y'all day going, all right? You know, we got all these videos coming out. Let's go ahead and speak about how your day going, you know. But outside of that, y'all, my day is still good, y'all. It's still, Thursday, y'all. Squid Game just came out, so I'm going to bust down on that. I'm gonna do me some skillet lasagna, just to be quite honest with y'all. And outside of that, y'all, I'm making these videos for the family. Let's get right into it. So first thing is first, y'all, leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. Yes, sir. Not only that, y'all, but y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. Number one, y'all, this is the justice that you're going to get. You're going to get retributive justice, all right? Retributive justice, or some of y'all may know it by retributive justice. This is a punishment for wrongdoing, okay? So if a person have abused you, they're going to be punished for that wrongdoing. If a person have wronged you, they're going to be punished for that wrongdoing. If a person have humiliated you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, they will be punished for that wrongdoing. So I know when y'all be driving, you see the handicapped parking spot, you like, man, you know, ain't no more parking spots. Maybe I can just park in front of this parking spot right here. Well, there's a pro and there's a con to it. The pro is you get you a parking spot off the rip. The con is you're going to get that fine. And most of those fines start at what, $250, $500, y'all? The point is you get, somebody gets justice, whether it's the city, grandmama, or whoever, but you get punished for that, okay? If you rob a bank, well, congratulations, you going to prison. It is what it is, all right? And if you are inflicting harm onto the meek, then you can guarantee yourself to have some type of public humiliation, because God does not play about his chosen ones. Bruno, what are you saying right now? You know, there's a time for peace. There's a time for war. There's a time for quietness. There's a time to speak. There's a time to fight. There's a time, you know, to not say anything, to be observant. There's a time and place for all of this. Well, what I want you to understand is it is now a time for justice. All right, somebody drop that down below in the comments. Time for justice, okay? And justice seems as if it never comes. You know, y'all, when it comes to these movies, television shows, books, all right, anything that we have watched through propaganda or even entertainment, it always shows that the antagonist wins. The antagonist somehow gets free. And even in these current movies that we see today, y'all, they're always making them or allowing them to get free. You know, what's up with that? I'll tell you. See, again, God's timing is not like our timing. It may seem like you just keep getting stumped on. It may feel like nobody sees you or even notice your talent. It may seem as if you're never going to get far, right? And you're watching the antagonist the negative person, the individual who just do nothing but wrong and bad things to people win. They got married. They got a promotion on their job. They making more money than you. And you like, but they so evil. How are they winning? I need you to understand something, y'all. They ain't winning for longevity. They only winning in permanence. They're only winning permanently. I need y'all to realize that. So retributive justice are those who have wronged you, those who have taunted you, those who have spoke bad on your name. The list goes on. They're going to get a punishment for their wrongdoing, and you can bet everything on that. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. Next thing is going to be this right here, y'all. Number 2, distributive justice. Distributive justice. Now, this is focused on fair allocation of resources and opportunities within society. All right, let me say it louder for my chosen ones in the back. Distributive justice is fair allocation. It's focused fair allocation on resources and opportunities within society. All right, now what I want y'all to understand is that God is going to distribute the resources accordingly. All right, God is going to distribute the resources accordingly. So you may see, the evil or the wicked, right, that has an abundance. They have so much money. They have so much power and authority. Well, he's going to redistribute that, okay? Because all the resources come from him anyway. They're just borrowing it. And the problem is, y'all, they don't realize that even giants fall. So it does not matter if they're the ones who have it. It says in the scriptures, y'all, that the last shall be first, the first shall be last. It says that you will go from being the head to the tail, right? Or the tail to the head. It says that you will go from being a borrower to a lender. So this is what I would consider distributive justice. You're going to be distributed justice through the right allocated funds, the right allocated opportunities, the right allocated equalities. That's justice, y'all. That's justice. And that's what God is going to give you. Think about this right here, y'all. The Israelites versus the Philistines. Okay, the Israelites versus the Philistines. What people don't realize is the Israelites were very poor. All they had was the Hebrew God. All they had was the Most High. That's all they had. And that's why he started sending prophets, because he's seeing that they were being beat, tormented. He's seeing that they were hopeless. They were enslaved. He's seeing that. So the Israelites were very poor. But then you have the Philistines who have all the resources. They got all the silver. They got all the gold. Okay, they have everything. God swapped that thing around, right? At first it was Israel who didn't have nothing, and Philistines had it all. But then and the Egyptians too had it all. But then he swapped that thing around to where the Israelites became, successful and wealthy. All right, because there were a wealth transfer. That's exactly what it was, y'all. A wealth transfer. Somebody drop in the comments and say, I'm a part of the wealth transfer. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I'm a part of the wealth transfer, because you are. And that is a part of your distributive justice. Number 3, y'all, is going to be this right here. Restoration justice. All right. Restoration justice. Now, I'm going to speak on a story, y'all, that I have yet to speak about. This is called Hosea's. This is the prophet Hosea. All right. This is the prophet Hosea. Now, Hosea is not one of the biggest prophets. He's not the Moses of the Bible, the Job of the Bible, David of the Bible. Not even as big as Saul, and Saul lost his mind in the Bible. But Hosea, I read this story, then watched the movie on it, and I said, man, this is interesting. I couldn't believe that he went through something like this. But long story short, y'all, he's considered to be like a minor prophet, right? But anyway, let's talk about Hosea for a second. Hosea was a minor prophet, who had his own ministry. He was like a preacher. And he was looking for his wife, right? He was a virgin. He had never had sex with any other woman. He said that I'm saving myself for marriage. That's what he said. He said that I'm saving myself for marriage. And so he had his friend that everybody wanted him to, be with. But he was like, no, that's just my friend. And not only that, but God said no, right? He was very obedient. You'll notice about a lot of God's prophets are very obedient, all right, especially in the beginning. But he was told no by God when it came to the first woman. Then the next woman came along. He was like, no, that's not her. He's like, but I like her though. God was like, no, not her. Then the last one came along, which was the third one. She happened to be a prophet. I mean, not a prophet, but a prostitute, right? She happened to be a prostitute, and her name was Gomer. Gomer or Gomer, right? If y'all read the story, y'all will see, okay? Y'all help me pronunciate it, right? But Gomer or Gomer. And she was a prostitute who obviously was selling her body, for financial gain. In those times, pieces of silver, all right? God said that's her. And he was like, but she's a prostitute. God, what you mean? That's her. Be obedient. Now, I don't know why he's so small. Maybe because his book is small in the Bible. But it takes strength to go through what this man did. I'm about to tell you what he went through. Once he married her, she never changed her ways. She was still who she was. So since she was a prostitute, she would still find herself in the arms of other lovers. So Hosea would wake up and she would not be there. They're married now. So she left. She left for weeks, days, months, and would come back pregnant. She did this 2 times. Left and came back pregnant. Did it 2 times, y'all. And so that last time she did it, he kept calling her back. He kept giving her unconditional love. He kept trying to get her to see that you don't have to do this. God was using his marriage to show the people of Israel of unconditional love. He was showing them what it means to truly be faithful. He was showing them what it truly means to be lovers of his word and obedience of his word, to his word, and also grace. Also grace, because he said that, Hosea said that God is mad with y'all. He mad. He pissed off with y'all because y'all are adulterers, liars, deceivers. Y'all are not really of the word, doers of the word, right? He says, don't be a hearer of the word, but be a doer of the word. Somebody drop that down below in the comments. Be a doer. Be a doer of the word, right? So, long story short, y'all, she leaves, and this is the longest time she left. Hosea goes to get her, where she does her prostitution at, and she said no, she didn't come. So that last time he was going to be done with her, but he was hurt because his wife is still prostituting. This is his wife. Think about that, y'all. And God used his marriage, the kids who was not his wife, to show this is what unconditional love means when you are serving me. This is what grace looks like when you are serving me. When you love like God. It's difficult, y'all, to love like God. That's why it's called agape love. All right? Unconditional love. The point of what I am saying in this, y'all, the last time she did what she did, she finally heard the voice of God. She came back and she was restored with justice. This is why I call restorative justice, okay? When she came back, she heard the voice of God. He gave her unconditional love, the same love that he had placed in Hosea to give her, all right? He gave her grace after being a prostitute. She thought that she wasn't worthy of being in the church or being in the presence of God. She thought that she was not worthy of the unconditional love that Hosea was giving her that came from God, right? She thought that she was not, but she was restored. She was restored is what I'm trying to say, y'all. And that's the same thing with you. Like you get healing when you are restored, right? Emotional healing, mental healing, all right? God allows you to have that grace when you are restored. You're going to get that same justice in front of all your enemies. You're going to get that same justice. You're going to be restored, right? Somebody drop in the comments and say, restore me, Lord. This is what you're going to get. So listen, y'all, whenever y'all get the time and the chance, y'all go look that story up. All right, the book of Hosea. That man was faithful, and he had an unfaithful wife, and she was a prostitute. But God used her to show what it looks like to have unconditional love for him. All right, that was crazy, y'all. Number 4, it's gonna be this right here: social justice. Social justice. All right, so y'all know me, and y'all know what I preach. I preach about chosen ones. I preach about God. Of course, y'all motivating, inspirational content, stuff like that. But I believe that there are chosen ones, chosen people, and it literally says it in the Bible. So with that being said, y'all, us chosen ones have not been treated right socially. We have not been treated right socially. And so what's going to be our vindication is social justice. All right. Let's give y'all a few examples of social, injustice, or examples of getting social justice. Civil rights movement. They were fighting for their social rights. All right. Women's suffrage movement, fighting for their rights as women. Disability rights movement, for those who were disabled, to have certain education, to not have certain funds or certain resources that they would need. They were fighting for those rights. Social injustices. As a chosen one, y'all, we're going to be persecuted. We're going to be treated with hostile treatment. We're going to be looked down upon, shunned on. However, y'all, that justice will come socially. You just have to hang on, have faith, work while you wait, of course, y'all, but understand the importance of social injustice, all right? And social justice. God is going to vindicate us all. All right, he's going to vindicate us all, and it is through his word, through his love, that in which he will do. All right, so all his chosen ones will go through this, y'all. Justice is coming, y'all. Justice is coming. Number 5, y'all, the last thing is going to be this right here. You're going to get justice of freedom. All right, justice of freedom. So when people don't have freedom, they don't have justice. And that's with anything, right? So it was a guy by the name of Kirk Bloodsworth. All right, he was convicted of a murder, and he was sentenced to the death penalty in year 1984. All right, in year 1984. But he was later exonerated, which means free, by DNA evidence. So they did some tests and realized that, oh, hey man, we're finna kill the wrong person. We're about to kill the wrong man. You see what I'm saying, y'all? And so he was wrongfully incarcerated, but he was later granted freedom, and I believe he got a payout, right? He received the justice of freedom. He received that justice of freedom. How many of y'all feel, captivated by your job? You feel captivated by a person. You feel captivated by the system. You feel captivated, like you're trapped, right? Well, God is going to bring you that freedom. He's going to grant you that freedom. You just have to have your eyes open and your mind open towards it. All right. Somebody drop in the comments and say, open your mind. He's going to grant you that freedom. All right. And that's a form of justice. Again, y'all, no freedom, no justice. Point blank, period. But listen, y'all already know how we do. Y'all make sure y'all get one of those Yes Sir t-shirts, y'all, as we conclude this video. Y'all be sure to get one of those Yes Sir hoodies, book a one-on-one session with your boy. All right, and not only that, y'all, but y'all be sure to go over to the Rich Mentality Academy. All right, join the membership, meet your tribe. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Y'all keep a rich mentality. Peace.